So Labour is on the rebound, but many Tory MPs are even more worried by the threat to their right flank from the UK Independence Party. His vote was up an impressive 10 percentage points on its performance at the general election, taking its share of the vote to 13%, just behind the Lib Dems. I'm joined now by UKIP leader Nigel Farage. Welcome. A year ago you fell out of a plane. It's good to see you still in one piece.
Thank you.
Exactly to this year. Where does UKIP go from here? What's the game plan?
What we saw on Thursday was good, solid, steady growth. An average score of 13% of the vote. And interestingly, most of those votes in the big metropolitan parts of England, where previously we haven't done very well. The plan is to fight the county elections next year, where we should be even stronger. And this week we'll get to work putting up a full slate of candidates across the whole of England. And we'll get ready to fight a European election in 2014. And remember, we came second last time in 2009. And to push on to a general election in 2015 as a party that isn't there simply as a protest for disgruntled Tories about Europe. We're a party putting out a full manifesto. You know, we want a different energy policy, one not based on building wind turbines everywhere. We want our kids to have the chance of going to selective schools. We want to help our 4.2 million small businesses by getting rid of excessive labour practices. So all of this says UKIP is a real party and it's here to stay.
Like to tell us any more about these possible defections from the Conservative Party?
Well, I mean, at the moment, we've got Conservatives saying, and we've just seen some of them, Cameron needs to change course, he's too close to the Lib Dems. Look, the fact is, David Cameron himself doesn't come from a business background, has no understanding of the striving classes, is committed to green taxes to fight global warming, and believes we must stay a member of the EU and there mustn't be a referendum. And I would say to these sceptics, frankly, guys, you're in the wrong party. The Eurosceptics have lost every single battle since Maastricht. If they came into UKIP, helped us, gave us increased credibility, perhaps we could build a real force in this country that actually wants to put the interests of Britain first.
What would happen to UKIP, though, if David Cameron, he may not do this, but if he was bold enough to put a commitment to an EU in-out referendum in the next Conservative manifesto? I mean,
why would I believe him? I mean, he's done all this before. Remember, this is the guy that wrote him a Sun newspaper when he was getting on very well with the Murdoch press, that he gave us a cast-iron guarantee that when he was Prime Minister, we'd have a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty. He hasn't delivered. If it goes into a manifesto, frankly, what I will think and what people will say is Cameron's a bit like Blair, just not as good at it. He'll make any promise he can just to get elected.
OK, so you hope to do better in the county elections next year. That's more your territory.
Yep.
And then the big enchilada for you is the European ones. People even talking you may come top of the poll. Is that an aspiration?
Of course it is, yes. I mean, we've come third, second in the last two European elections. We're the only party saying we want to have a trade relationship with Europe, we want to be friendly with Europe, but make our own laws in this country. And that resonates out there.
But, you know, if you want to join the big time, you're still seen as unprofessional, amateur, even, I would say, unacceptable. I mean, your press officer called the Tory chair, Baroness Vasi, quote, a bitch.
Well, look, Baroness Vasi was deeply insulting to us, trying to liken us to the BNP, and yes, our press officer responded. You know, it happens in the thick of it, it happens in real life. We all use language we shouldn't at times.
And he shouldn't have used that language?
He shouldn't have done it, of course not.
Because she's not?
I think what she said was totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
I think she's just about the lowest grade chairman the Tory party's ever had.
But is she?
And to compare us to the BNP was quite wrong.
Doesn't sound like much of an apology.
It was just the wrong choice of word, that's all.
And then you had this so-called internal error. In London, the UKIP name on the ballot papers, you didn't get it. I mean, that makes you a joke, doesn't it?
Well, it says that we've got to professionalise the thing. It says to me, we can't go on running the party as it is. We've got to have a proper campaign office in London with a full-time experienced campaign director so that this can never happen again.
You know, you got a decent percentage of the poll, I understand that, but the blunt truth is you didn't win any more seats. You did terribly in London. You're still a one-man band. The one-man band is playing his instrument in front of me now. London
was a failure. Across the rest of England and in parts of South Wales, we had a very good night on Thursday. We did gain seats in all sorts of places, from Grimsby to Tunbridge Wells. We're picking up support, not just from the Tories, but from Old Labour and Lib Dems too. Yes, we've got to raise more money. Yes, we've got to get more professional. And I would urge those people in the Tory party who can't stand Cameron, come and help me do this job.
Well, they need to help you because it's only you.
Well, that's absolutely
There's
rubbish.
not another single name anybody's heard of in your party.
Well, that's not true, is it? I mean, my deputy Paul Nuttall is appearing on more and more programmes, both on the BBC and Sky and elsewhere, and is very accomplished and very good. The party's growing, it's doing well, and we're confident.
Nigel Farage, thanks for being with us today on this auspicious anniversary.
Thank you.